imitating this open G chord that's now a movable form. We're going to play this in our progression that I've written behind me here. We've got a couple spots where we're going to play it. And the reason I like this chord is because it gives you a different kind of a ability to add that strum to it and control the rhythm. Right? It's got a lot of, you've got your fingers on every note of the chord, so you can really kind of choke off the strings and add those accents. Right? And if you want to, you can also take the third off and just use the root here and just hold on to the chord like this, and then you don't have to have the third at the bottom, and you can just play this. You can hear the difference right away. When you have the third in there, it's a little bit muddier, meaning a little darker. So sometimes I like to take the third off and just mute the string with my first finger so you don't hear that string, and I just play this. Okay, so you'll probably see me go back and forth between the third and muting for a different effect. Okay, so we're going to use this new chord in our progression up here. So let's take a look at the progression. And you can see now I've written a couple of rhythms in the progression that will sound good with our song. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, let's just go over that rhythm right here. We haven't talked about it before. This is a quarter note strum right here, and this is on the downbeat of 1, and this right here, this symbol represents an 8th note, and this is an 8th note rest, in fact. And so this means there's nothing on the downbeat of 2, and this represents the upbeat of 2, where I put the next attack of the A chord. So you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, and this represents a tie over into beat 3, and the last mark just represents just basically you can do any other thing after that. Okay, so I probably just let it rest. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the third. Okay, and if I combine that with the C chord and I move it up here, the same exact shape. Back and forth. Okay, so that makes up my A section of our song here. Okay, and we'll do this 2 times. We'll do it one more time, but then we'll jump down to the third ending where I grab the B minor chord. And in this case, I'm going to play the B minor form off this shape, the A shape, but a minor form now. Section, which is going to go back into an A chord. And at this point, I'm going to utilize 8th notes. I'm just going to utilize the straight 8th note. And I'll use them as I go through the progression. So just choke up a little on the strings here and mute the strings. Back to the other groove that was this. But I'm going to use the open E in this case because I think it sounds good to use the low string now. And now we get some sharp notes in here for the first time. F sharp major, C sharp minor, and D major, or if you want this one, that's our little progression now. Primarily focusing on these 2 new chord shapes here that we've got in this new form. Okay, so let's try it out with our band and my bass player buddy Jin back here. Okay, here we go. Everybody's playing along. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go to the third ending. Here we go. 8th notes. Here we go. Okay, here we go back to the top. I'm going to use an open C chord this time. Okay, now I'm going to use the fretted new chord. Third ending, here we go. Gives us a lot of other possibilities of how to voice and connect other chords. Okay, so we've got 4 movable bar chord major forms, and I know that you've actually got versions of minor chords as well that we can work on. Okay, one other interesting thing about this particular voicing or chord form that I like, and I'll show you something. If you remember back when we did the G chord and I added some notes and we used a finger picking kind of style. Remember when we did that in the open position? Well, you can take total advantage of with this shape even when you play it as a bar shape, because watch what happens when you take that same shape now and you don't play the third on the bottom, let's say, like I was telling you, you could avoid that if you want. But you've got 2 fingers available here. Check out how cool this is. You can add other notes in between with your fingers. You can add this exact shape that you played here, but that would represent these 2 notes right here, which is essentially an F sound. Okay, but if you put the root on the bottom on the C form, you can see how great that sounds when you add that in the chord. Right? You can also add the third in there from this hammer on. Right? So you can get into this real cool R&B kind of sound. Right? And you see what I'm doing there? I'm hammering on from this note into the third, and then I play the chord after it. So, in fact, I'm hammering onto that note and then also playing that note inside of it. But it's all available in this position of this open G form that became a movable form. So we're going to talk a lot more about these kinds of things in other lessons, so tune in. And now we're going to play it one more time, and I'm going to use some of this technique into this chord progression and make it even more interesting. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 8 notes.
Okay, G minor, here we go. Okay, that's it for now. I'll talk to you next lesson, okay? Have a good time with this. Check out all these chords and review all the previous lessons. And I'll see you next lesson, okay? Talk to you later. Bye.